for any enthusiast of motor racing, it was a day. For the victors, like this 1963 Lotus, there were the garlands and more silver for the trophy cabinet. For some of the vanquished, the humiliation of crossing the line pulled by a tow truck. But these were the machines most of the crowd had come to see, the Formula One cars which a few years ago you'd have found on Grand Prix starting grids around the world. Most have an impressive pedigree, like this Williams, only one previous owner, a certain Mr. Keke Rosberg. Derek Daly used to sit behind the wheel of this car. And this Tyrrell used to be driven by Eddie Shiva. Occupying the driving seat now is Richard Peacock from near Moulding Clwyd, trying to live up to the achievements of the previous occupants.
It's obviously one gets a buzz from it, although a Formula One car just has a bit of magic to itself. There's something about the sort of charisma of a Formula One car, and it really is just a fabulous car to drive. It's certainly my favourite type of racing car.
Think you drive it better than Eddie Shiva?
No, I wouldn't think so.
With 4 rounds gone of the 8-round Formula One Classic Championship, Richard is leading the points table. But there's less than half an hour to go before this, the 5th round, and he's got big problems.
Practice initially went very well, and we set a time good enough to qualify on pole position. And then I felt the gearbox tighten, and I pulled in, and a bearing had gone in the gearbox, which we had great trouble, getting to the bearing and then locating one all this morning, and one arrived about 20 minutes ago, and the chaps are frantically working away on it, so we hopefully get on the grid in the race. But I think we've got about 20 minutes to do.
With just minutes to spare, his team have managed to reassemble the car and push it out onto the grid. With a temperamental gearbox, he had been expecting a slow start. As it was, he stormed off into an early lead and stayed there. On the fastest parts of the course, he was reaching speeds of 170 miles an hour, setting a new lap record and taking the checkered flag. Just a few minutes earlier, he'd been wondering whether he'd race at all. It was the stuff boys' own annuals are made of.
Give me his garland now.
I'm really very lucky. I drive for the best team in this formula. Most teams would have put the car in the truck and gone home, and our guys fixed it, you know.